we are going to sit the heart on its base, and then we're going to make a coronal section. And remember, a coronal section is where you get the front of the heart and the back of the heart. So you want to cut it so that your front is intact and the back is intact. You don't want to cut it this way, because then you're going to cut across the two sulci. If you do that, you won't be able to see much when you go inside. So you want to do this section. Sit it on its base, and you want to make it as even as you can. So you start with it right at the pointy part, the apex. You're going to try to find where you think the center of that is, and then you're going to make a section. It's pretty tough. Once you get inside, you can use your scalpel now. And here I have my tricuspid intact. I'm about to cut my bicuspid rather. I'm about to cut through it. And because you do a section, you go whatever you have on one side, you'll have on the other. Well, you got that even with it's twisted. I'm amazed. Okay, so whatever you have on one side is what you'll have on the other side, more or less. So you can then go ahead and try to find the features inside. So here we go now. So what we have is something like this. And the first thing we do when we open it is try to find the chambers. And so here's your, again, you orient yourself. This is the front, that's the back, this is the right, that's the left. So this is your right atrium. Oh, and you can tell based on the size of the ventricles, for example. This is the left ventricle, it's much bigger than the right side. So if I start with my right side over here, this is my right atrium up here. That's my right atrium. This is my right ventricle here. That space is the ventricle. Over here is my left ventricle, all that. And then this is my left atrium here. One of the things that separate, or the thing that separates the ventricles is this big thick piece of muscle here. It's part of the myocardium of the heart. The muscle of the heart is called myocardium. So all of this is myocardium, all this stuff here. But this special piece has a name. It's called the septum, interventricular septum. So it's the interventricular septum because a septum is a partition. So it's a piece that separates the two ventricles. Hence the term interventricular septum. Or you can just put septum.
It separates the two ventricles?
So again, remember we had our epicardium or visceral pericardium is the membrane on the outside. This is our membrane outside. Well, this thick muscle here is called the myocardium, that's the middle. And then this gray stuff that you see on the inside here, that's your endocardium. So you have epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Those are the three layers. All right, so once you're comfortable with your ventricle, your right and left ventricle, and once you find your right atrium, and you may have to, sometimes it's a cut off center, so you may have to go back and cut it. But this is my right atrium, and here's my my left atrium right there. Once you find those, you're going to look between the atrium and the ventricle, and you will see a valve. The valve is this piece of connective tissue stuff. So you're going to look for that between, this is the ventricle, this is the atrium. So sitting between them, you will have the AV valve or atrioventricle valve. They have names, they have special names. The one on the left side, the one between the left ventricle and the left atrium is called the bicuspid or the mitral. Now, notice the valve has these cords attached to it. So this part of it is the valve, and these are the cords. These are called chordae tendineae, and you have it on the bicuspid. You also have it on the tricuspid. By the way, let's do the tricuspid. So here's my right atrium, here's my right ventricle, and sitting between my right atrium and right ventricle is the tricuspid. You can do it over this side if it looks better over here. That's my tricuspid there. The tricuspid, just like the bicuspid, have cords. See the cords? Those are chordae tendineae. Now, if you follow the cords, they're going to take you and connect to a big part of a muscle here. You can see it nicely over here. See how they connect, and the muscle is thick? There it is there. And if you go in here, you'll see that thick part of the muscle there. And here it is. Here's a part of it here. That's called papillary muscle. Papillary muscle. So this is a nice papillary muscle. This is a papillary muscle. This is also papillary muscle. And here it is in here. That's a piece of it right there. That's the papillary muscle. The papillary muscle is where the cords anchor. So the cords attach to the valve at the top and to the papillary muscle at the bottom. And the reason the papillary muscle is so big, it's part of the myocardium, but because when the valve when the valve closes, it tugs on it all the time, and it's a muscle, so it gets larger. Okay, so that's your first two valves. So here they are. Number E, that's your tricuspid, and this one over here is your bicuspid. These are the cords, and here is the papillary muscle where the cords anchor. Then we're going to look for the next set of valves. There's two sets. There's the AV valves, which includes the tricuspid and the bicuspid. And then you have the semilunar valves, which includes this one and that one. Now the semilunar valves are located at the base of the two main vessels. So at the base of the pulmonary trunk, there is one set, and at the base of the aorta is the other set. So they name them based on the vessel that they're located at. So this one is the pulmonic semilunar, and this one is the aortic semilunar valve. So here goes. I'm going to look for my aorta, and then I'm going to find the valve. So here's my aorta. So surrounding the mouth of my aorta, I should see those ones. Here's one of the cups. There's three little cups. Here's the other cup, and here's my third cup. These are little connective tissue cups. The cups are these little things that look like bird nests. Somebody thought they look like semilunar. They call them semilunar because somebody thought they look like half moons. I don't think they look like half moon. I think they look like little bird nests. But where you want to find them, where you're going to locate them, is at the base of the two main arteries. So the one I'm showing you right now is at the base of the aorta. Here's my aorta right here, and surrounding the mouth of the aorta are these cups. 1, 2, 3 of them. Let me see yours. There's your aorta. It's kind of covered up. Cut away here and you'll see that. I can see them peeking out right under there. There's one. I'm going to cut through it. So here's one of them. Here's the other one. Here's part of it. That's right there. It's because your heart is funny. Now, to see the other one, to see the blue one here, I have to come out here to my pulmonary trunk, and I'm going to make an incision at the base of it. And if I do that, then I will see, here's one of the cups, here's another one, and here's the third one. That's these three little ones. This is my pulmonary trunk, and it's right at the base of it. So that's your pulmonic semilunar valve. So those are your 4 valves. Again, you have 2 AV valves, atrioventricular valves. One is called the bicuspid, the other one is called the tricuspid. You have 2 semilunar valves. One is called the pulmonic semilunar, the other one is called the aortic semilunar. Then the other thing you can see are these folds in the ventricle. You see them? They're kind of running north to south. If you open up your ventricle, you'll see them in there. They look like the root of a tree. Here you can see them. That's your trabeculae corneae. They're in here as well. There you see them a little better in the left ventricle. But there they are in the bottom there. That's your trabeculae corneae. If you open up the aorta, I mean not the aorta, the atria, you'll see folds in. See those folds in here? Let me see. You can see some right there. Those look like roots of a tree. That's the pectineate muscle. Carrie, you need to put that on the board for me, please. Pectineate, P-E-C-T-I-N-A-T-E. Pectineate muscle. I can't see. P-E-C-T-I-N-A-T-E.
Those are the ridges in the atrium. The ridges.
The ridges exactly. Ridges in the atrium. The ridges in the ventricle are the trabeculae corneae. That's on your list. Pectineate is not on there. You need to put it to your list. Pectineate muscles are the ridges in the atria. And then what else? Oh, moderator band. The moderator band is only seen in the right ventricle. So you have to open up your right ventricle, and if you open it up, you'll see a piece of muscle running across. Can you see it? That's your moderator band right there. Now, some of you will have nice thick one like mine. Some of you will have skinny one. But it will run right across the right ventricle. Do you have one? That's your moderator band. And I think, what else do we have? I think that takes care of the list. Yeah, I think that takes care of the list. Yeah, that's your moderator band. Very good. Yours is nice and thick. All right, see what you can